BasePay is the fastest way to pay with USDC, and it makes it easy for builders to monetize their products. One-tap USDC payments in your app, no cards, no foreign exchange fees, no chargebacks, and no additional fees. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. You've got 30 minutes left to submit. Actually, 1 minute from now, so I'm going to try to make this quick. We're going to try to create for the Base Builder Quest 8 a quick checkout page that allows us to spend $1 in USDC, and we're going to vibe code the entire thing. No knowledge of code is required. So Eric made this Base Builder Quest 8. BasePay is the fastest way to pay with USDC on Base, and we want you to test it out. Your quest is to integrate BasePay in a new or an existing on-chain app to allow seamless payments on-chain. There's 2 ETH in prizes, 1 ETH for the winner, and 1 ETH split amongst the top 4 finalists. Bonus points if your app is live on Base mainnet, your app is a stellar user experience with as few clicks as possible, and your app implements at least 1 or more unique use cases for BasePay. Submissions are due right now, so we're going to jump right into it. If you scroll down below, you'll see the link to the docs, which I've also included in the description of this video, so you can one-click to get to where I'm at. Now, I'm not even going to read this. I'm just going to click copy page. I'm going to go over to V0, which is a vibe coding tool, and I'm going to say, please build me a simple checkout page, docs. I'm going to paste the docs. And now I'm going to say requirements. And inside of the requirements, I'm going to post that tweet. And so now I can just copy this inside of V0, just put the base quest right inside of it. And now the only thing I'm going to specify, price $1, testnet false, and recipient, I'm going to make my wallet address. So I'll copy my wallet, put that in here, and that's it. I didn't really think too much. I just copied the initial prompt. I copied the docs, and now let's see if we can get a page up and running without doing any coding of our own. The main focus from my side is to help musicians and other artists, especially in Latin America, use the tooling around the Base ecosystem so that they can take ownership of the work that they are doing and to stay fully independent. On-chain is the new infrastructure for artists and musicians, and it allows them to build fully independent without having to sell their rights to major labels, without having to pay subscriptions to other big platforms and other tools. And if you use things like Base and you build with V0, you can one-shot prompt an entire app. We just one-shot prompted. I didn't write any code. We've got a pay button down here. I click it, and it automatically opens up our ability to pay with Base in USDC. And so right here, it shows that we can pay. It says that I do not have a sufficient balance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this address however I can. Let's receive crypto, copy the address. And I'm just going to, I'll send, let's try to just send, well, I want to just send 1, but I don't want to hit any bugs. So I'm going to actually send 3.33. Going to send it to this address I've copied, and let's send it. Transactions are incredibly fast on Base, so we should see that that is pretty much already done. And when we come back over here, let's try again, and we can see that I now can pay with Base. $3, I'm just going to pay it. Opens up for me to sign with my wallet, and I have just finished paying with Base. I can take this transaction hash, I can go over to BaseScan, and I can check this out. And so if you're a musician and you want to start charging people for your art on Base, you can do this. You don't need to publish your work on a centralized platform. You don't even need to publish it on chain on a platform like Zora or Manifold or Catalog or Rodeo. You can just upload your media file directly into V0, add in a BasePay button, and you're off to the races. So you can make it less complex. Don't worry about adding in a connect wallet button or any of that nonsense. Just add in a BasePay button and allow people to pay directly from your site. For some reason, the transaction is not showing up. I'm curious why it's not showing up. Maybe the URL is not correct. And so what I'll try doing is I'll try coming over to my wallet. Let's copy this, paste my address in. And if we go to ERC20 transfers, 1 minute ago, I spent 1 USDC. This is the correct transaction hash. And you can see that 1 USDC went from my smart wallet into my voice first wallet. 1 exactly. No fees were taken. I, as the end smart wallet, did not need to worry about gas, and I've been able to pay. So this has been a quick video, less than 5 minutes. We went through the docs. I was able to vibe code an entire app, and I was able to pay using that app less than 5 minutes to go from nothing to having a fully functioning shop where I can sell my items, get paid directly with no fees in order to do it. This is the power of base pay. Again, the goal of base pay is it's the fastest way to pay with USDC. It makes it easy for builders to monetize their products. One tap USDC payments in your app, no cards, no foreign exchange fees, no chargebacks, and no additional fees. You can check out the link down below to get started today with using base pay within your app. And I'm going to be, I wanted to share one more thing, which is how I'm visualizing using base pay in my other apps. I drew out this little diagram today and how I'm planning on implementing it within in-process. So if you're not familiar with in-process is an on-chain timeline for artists. And it allows artists to upload their work, put in whatever price that they want, to get paid instantly with no fees automatically. And so what we are going to be doing is you can already list a price of USDC, but currently it requires an approval step followed by a purchase step. But with base pay by base, we can skip all of that and people can just pay directly using base pay. And there's no preliminary step of I need to have ETH in my wallet. I need to do an approval step. So what I'm going to be doing next is updating the token page for USDC payments. And so let's imagine that I have this post. I actually think this is in USDC. So there's a perfect example. Right now, when I try to collect, it's going to say I don't have the correct allowance. And so as a result, well, actually, it looks like I do have the allowance here. So we've moved directly onto the payment step. But if I jack it up to 111, maybe I still have the allowance because it's not prompting me to do an allowance. Yeah, it's still saying we're good. Let's try 1111. I don't think I've given an allowance of $1,000. It also looks like I've already done that. So actually, not going to be able to show what I wanted to show here. But what the goal is to update this instead of just collect and then it just opens up your connected wallet. We open up the base pay. And let me go back to that post. So you, as the artist, go over to your manage page, which for me is on my manage page. And then I select a token. Once I've selected a moment, you'll then have the ability to copy a base pay URL, which is going to be a page that looks like this. It's going to be a very simple page. It's just going to have the checkout amount, and then it's going to have a one-click button to open up the payment. From there, you share that link on socials, the link to the one-click checkout page, and then from your socials, someone discovers it, visits the page, they listen to your music, they watch the video, they consume the art, and whatever the fashion is. They open it inside of a mini app. They do a one-click button to open up base pay in their checkout. Payment then gets sent to a smart wallet on the in-process backend. We have an API that then gets triggered. Once that payment is received, the API gets triggered. The API then does the purchasing so that the collector gets paid, or so that the artist gets paid immediately. And the wallet that made the payment gets the digital collectible. And then the artist gets that payout instantly. And so from the collector's perspective, they find your mini app, they open up the mini app, one click, open up base pay, and then they pay with base pay. From the artist side, the artist uploads their art on in-process like they always do. They go onto their manage page, and instead of just sharing this link of the main page, you're going to share a special link for the base pay, because right now I'm going to split it out into a beta just to make it, this is an experiment I have not gotten approval from Latasha or CY on. So I want to make sure that if I'm running with these experiments, I'm separating it a little bit. So it'll be a separate page. The artist creates on in-process, shares the link for the base pay purchase. And then from there, you get, whenever someone buys, you get paid instantly in USDC sent straight to your wallet. So that's where I'm thinking of building next. I'll be actually building that out in a little bit, probably extending this existing vibe coded app What I'll likely be doing is making this as a standalone template. That way anybody can take this, plug in their own art, and it'll just work out of the box within process theming. So stay tuned for when I come back online in a little bit to do that vibe coded app. And I guess I'm going to wrap this up by showing how you can make your own template, because I very much like templates. And so you can go to community and publish to community. And now it says your project will be enabled for V0. I actually didn't read it all. After the next successful deployment. And so now all that I need to do is share, publish, deploy to production. I don't like having things as private. I like building in public. So we make it public. Should be deploying right now. Yeah, it's publishing. Base pay integration. I'm not even going to call this base pay integration. We're going to call it some base pay prototype. So we've got a base pay prototype. We've just made it available for the community. Okay, this looks like the projects. If I go to community and I look up base pay, am I going to find it yet? It might need to wait until it goes through authorization. Base pay. Yeah, still no templates found for base pay. So if you're interested in listing the first template for base pay, I encourage you to. Okay, so here's my submission. I've already done a simple music player, and it's had 17 forks so far. And so this is going to be my second contribution to the V0 community. I like making these as templates. That way musicians like Yoshiro, who I work with, or any of the musicians that are part of Based in Colombia or across Latin America and Argentina, Colombia, Chile, Brazil, Mexico, any of the other countries in Latin America, people don't need to know how to code. You can just come into one of my templates. You can start one from the template, swap out the media with your own media, and then you've got an app that works out of the box. So if you are interested in getting started, again, check out the link below. I'm going to be making some more videos in the next little bit. Stay tuned for any new Base quests that are coming from Base. It's your way to get paid as you experiment with these new tooling. And I'll be back soon to give you more videos.